Dee, dee, dee. Okay. Hello, everybody. How's it going? I'm so excited to be here today. Oh, I'm not.
No, I'm not seeing it on my Facebook.
We're not seeing it. Anything popping up?
Hang on. It's that delay thing, I think.
Oh, we're on delay. Do you see? I'm going to ask Leanne. Do you see us?
All right, eyeballs are popping on.
Eyeballs are popping on. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Tuesday Live, my Tuesday tribe. Thank you so much for finding time in your Tuesday morning, maybe Tuesday afternoon. And if you're in the UK, maybe you're having a glass of wine this time of day and enjoying Tuesday Live. In any case, thank you so much for being here for Tuesday Live. I'm having a breathing issue, right? Every time I take a deep breath, I cough.
It's overrated.
It's overrated. Breathing is overrated, Susie says, the official word. I'm going to try and drink water as we go today so that I don't lose my voice because it's one of those weird days. Okay, thanks everybody for joining me. I want to talk a little bit about my trip to the Mesa Scrapbook Show this weekend. The first thing I want to do is apologize for not being better organized and getting a little happy hour group together from the Mesa show. So we talked about that, and then I just got so busy, and quite honestly, I just totally slipped my mind to put it together. So I apologize for that. Hopefully we will do it again at the next show, which I believe there's another show later in the year, a scrapbook expo. If you have not been to a crop or scrapbook convention, that type of thing, I would really encourage you to look Scrapbook Expo, CK Events. Who are the other ones? There's a Rubber Stamp Addict show if you like rubber stamping, but they're really, really fun. You have a great opportunity to learn. There's all kinds of classes. And then the actual crop events are amazing and fun. And you meet all these great people. And so this one, Kimberly Saldana, who's the VP of Sales for Crafter's Companion, was with me. And we took a little pile of goodies and we went into the crop room and said hi to everybody and went to hand things out. And usually when I go to one of those things, or previously when I've gone to one of those things, there's been a lot of people with Totally Tiffany stuff. But at this one, almost every table, I didn't have enough goodies to give away. I guess that's the bottom line. So if you were at the Mesa show, thank you for supporting the Totally Tiffany brand. I had a ton of fun meeting all of you. Big shout out to Carol and Lloyd Dean. Thanks for taking the class. I had a great couple of classes there. Just the Overwhelmed to Organize class. So everybody who participated in that, it was really nice to see you, and thank you for being there for that. Okay. Also, big thanks to Be Creative, BEE, like bumblebeecreative.com. They were the booth sponsor. They carried the Totally Tiffany brand in their booth at those shows, and they did a really great job having as much inventory as they could available at the show. But they're another place where you, excuse me, BeCreative.com, you can go and shop for Totally Tiffany products as well. So if you're somebody who likes to support small business, Stamps of Life, of course, Scrapbook.com, and now BeCreative.com are all going to have Totally Tiffany products available for you. Did I get everything? Yes. All right. That's all the Mesa info. Let's jump right into questions. Now, remember, if you have a question, if you're new to Tuesday Live and you have a question, you can type it into the feed. If you start your question with the word question in all caps, kind of pops up. So either Susie or Leanne will see it, and then hopefully they will get that message to me so I can answer your question. There's also an opportunity, usually a couple days before Tuesday Live, on the Facebook page or the Get Organized with Totally Tiffany Facebook group, where you can ask questions there, and then they get to me on Tuesday morning as well. This is a little bit of a long one. It was a question submitted by Kristen. She sent it to our customer service person, Leanne. And so I'm going to read it to you kind of quickly here. And Leanne says, I spoke with a gal, I guess she called. She didn't email in, but I spoke with a gal named Kristen from Minneapolis. So Kristen, if you're watching, let us know that you're here today. And she's in the process of figuring out what type of crafter she is. Sounds like she might be a Nancy, not so much, and is hoping to create individual portable workstations to take from a cabinet in her dining room to her dining room table and back. She is thinking specifically about stations for embossing, die cutting, stamping. She'd like to use the craft and carry workstation because she likes the stadium aspect. could you talk a little bit about this during a Tuesday live? The main question is, if all the components for each craft, including machines, Cuttlebug, and embossing tools, can be stored together with each station. She wants to easily remove the station and work on it and then easily put it away. She's open to lowest totes. However, I don't think Craft and Carry Workstation and the Cuttlebug can fit together. I don't have a Cuttlebug, so I'm going to address that question straight away. But if a Cuttlebug is about the same size as a Spellbinders, Tall Girl Susie, woo! This is going to be a hard one for you to get to. That red pink machine on the top, you might have to move the lights. Feel free to do that if you need to. So I think this is a brilliant idea. I think the idea of keeping, especially if you don't have tons of stuff, the idea of keeping things together, you use together, is really sort of a key aspect to staying organized. So if a Cuttlebug machine is about the size of a Spellbinders Grand Caliber, and it might actually be a little bit smaller, then I think you probably can get both of them, both the that has suction on it. Okay, did you hear that? My gears are broken in there. I need to reach out to Spellbinders and have them send me some new ones, which I understand they do really readily. Okay, so there goes a Craft and Carry Workstation. Is it going to fit? No. No. The answer is no. But it's close. So if the Cuttlebug is a little bit smaller than the Spellbinders Grand Caliber, then you'd be able to do it in a lowest tote. But I think in general, let's just talk about the idea. I think the idea is really a good one.
Harry Johnson says it's quite a bit smaller.
Oh, okay. So the Cuttlebug, quite a bit smaller. It probably will fit with your Craft and Carry Workstation then, because it's really just a matter of about 1.5 inches, and the Grand Caliber is a beastie machine, right? It's really big. So it would probably work for that. So I think the idea is a really good idea, and it kind of follows that same theory of what we've been talking about, right? Keeping things together, you use together, especially if you have small amounts of stuff. So the Craft and Carry Workstation is probably a great option because, like she says, the way that it's stadiumed, and you could put smaller embossing folders, which come, obviously in a variety of sizes. Is that the biggest one I've got? Let me see what's back here. This guy, it's big. This guy. So there are all of these different sizes of embossing folders, right? Actually, this would be really good for embossing folders because of so you've got all the different heights. And then you've also got these guys.
Hey, Tiff, somebody out of Sudan, America, says the Cuttlebug is about the size of the black triangle bag sitting on your table.
Woo! So then it probably would definitely fit. I mean, I guess it depends.
How wide the base?
Yeah, on how wide the base is and how full you've got your Craft and Carry Workstation. So, but even if it doesn't fit, if you put your Craft and Carry Workstation into a lowest tote, if you want to use a tote to kind of pull it out with all of your tools that go with embossing or die cutting, you may have a machine and then a Craft and Carry Workstation or a lowest tote. So the Craft and Carry Workstation doesn't need a bag to store it in, right? You can literally pick it up and put it on the shelf and pull it off the shelf. So unless you have a lot of other bits and pieces that might need to go with it, and then the lowest tote would be handy because you could put those other things in there. I don't know that you actually need a lowest tote. You might have to make 2 trips, from your cabinet to your dining room table and then back to put it away. So, but it would be beneficial with the lowest tote, or depending again what it is, maybe it's something like a Triangle Traveler with tools in it or other supplies in this. But a couple of small things that are always together is going to be a brilliant idea for grouping those things together, especially if you just have a small amount of things. Also, even if you have more things, not more things, even if you have more stuff, you're not a Nancy, not so much, you have a lot of different things, keeping those things together that you use together in a Craft and Carry Workstation might be a great option for other things as well. You can put your buddy bags. If you have particular buddy bags with products in them that work for a specific type of task, those are all gonna, your long ones are gonna stand up in there. So it is an easy way to sort of combine and conquer. So depending on what you're doing, and if somebody has a really specific question about it, I'm happy to answer that as well. But I think the general idea, Kristen, you're right on track. I mean, I think it's a smart way to do it. And the stadium aspect gives you that reliability. Now, if you're not going to travel with them and you have more stuff than will fit in a craft and carry workstation, you may look at some of the stadium arrangers, the die stamp and supply, which is, so in die stamp and supply, I've got dies and stamps and embossing folders. It also works great for tools. It works great for cards and card blanks. And when you look at that online, you'll see there's a lot of pictures with just a big variety. You could search the blog like for die stamp and supply organizer or desk made. And I'm sure there's a blog post that probably says a bazillion ways, because that's my normal thing, to use your die stamp and supply organizer. If you're not traveling with it, that's another option. Same kind of concept, a little bit more. This is a little bigger and heavier. It'll hold a little bit more, but it's going to hold things differently because this does have the 12 by 12 pocket in the back for your, I guess you could put that in the back of your die stamp and supply organizer as well. But the concept is solid, Kristen, and you are on the right track. And again, as you get going with that, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to add them to Tuesday Live or shoot an email off to our customer service department. Okay, next question. Diane Sarah Galski. She says, time to join again. Though I participated more than once in the past, never quite finished organizing all I wanted to. Yes, I'm a gotta have it all. Look forward to the inspiration and any new tips, and I do carry the ideas out beyond my craft room. Woo woo! Yay, Diane. Thank you so much for posting that up. And yes, it is time to sign up again for the Get Organized Challenge, which is going to start on Tuesday, the 22nd of March. We'll be kicking off the first Get Organized Challenge, which also happens to be the first Tuesday or the second day of our birthday week. So mark your calendar. Birthday week is the 21st through the 27th. And the 21st to the 27th, all kinds of specials during birthday week, of course. I think I mentioned earlier, like maybe in the last Tuesday Live, that we have arranged for the birthday specials to go all week long. So you don't have to worry that something is going to be on sale on Monday, not on Tuesday or whatever. Of course, you know how stock is. And once people start like, oh, this is a great item, people get excited about it, and then it's gone. So if you really want something that's on the special, please take advantage of the specials first part of the week, Monday or Tuesday, so you make sure you get what you want. We will have a live event every day that week, which will start off with sort of a Monday afternoon refreshing beverage happy hour event, which I will do a little demo on a brand new product, a little sneak peek. Well, I'm going to probably get to I don't have it yet, or I would be sneak peeking it out today so you could start thinking about all the ways that you're going to use it. But if I have it next Tuesday, I'll definitely sneak peek it out on Tuesday before birthday week if I get it in time. So I'm just waiting to receive them here. So keep your eye out for that as well. Especially, I'll just give you a little hint. Those of you who use the IKEA Calyx cube or Expedit cube or the cubes from Michael's or Joann's Hobby Lobby for storage are really going to love this product. So it's going to start Monday will be the kickoff with a little afternoon event where hopefully I'm going to have that new product to demo and show you how it works. But Monday's going to be just kind of a very casual, personal. One of the things that I was asked about was, could I talk just a little bit on a personal level, kind of a getting to know Tiffany outside of crafting. And Susie's laughing. She's like, that's all she does. You should see this. So I don't know what else you're going to talk about. Yeah, I'll have to clean up my craft room. Maybe we'll do another craft room tour or something.
Cowgirl.
Yeah. Right. We're going to an event at the art museum, a bunch of girls. So that could be, we'll get a picture up for that. So you can see the craziness of what we're doing for that. But so it's going to kick off on Monday with a happy hour event. And then we'll do a little live. Well, obviously Tuesday live is a big deal on Get Organized Challenge. And then throughout the week, we have other things. One of the next questions that came up here was, when is the next Totally Tiffany takeover on Craft House? And it will be birthday week. So I believe that is Saturday, the 26th Saturday, the 26th of March. Okay, just a little reminder. This is going to be kind of a short Tuesday live because we've got a lot of other things going on. If you haven't posted anything, we're still going to do a giveaway. So you want to make sure you post in the comments. If you don't have a question, just post up. Tell us what your favorite Totally Tiffany product is. Tell us where you are, or if you're new, or how long you've been following, anything like that. You want to get your name into the feed so that you can be thrown into the hat to win this week's gift certificate. Did you have a question, Susie?
No, I've got several for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Bring it on.
All right. Let me
Susie's
pull
questions.
them up. All right. So, when will the slide stash in store 5 and 6 be in?
Yikes. It's going to be a while. I would really recommend that if you're looking for the slide stash in store 5 and 6, that you pop on over to, can you check Stephanie's website, Susie? Stamps of Life?
Yeah.
And see if she's got it. I also think scrapbook.com has it as well. I know that there's a new, here's a little piece of excitement. There will be a Totally Tiffany end cap in 180 of the Joann stores. One of the items in their end cap is the full collection, which is one of each of all 6 sizes. So that should be launching. I'll be sure and talk about it, but I think first part of April, and we'll get up a list of what stores that's in. They've got some buddy bags. They've got the craft and carry workstation. They've got the hang and hold. What else do they have there? Some of the pockets. So kind of our core items are going to be available in the Joann store on the Totally Tiffany, on a Totally Tiffany end cap. And again, we'll let you know which stores those are. But slide stash in store 5 and 6 on our website. It'll be a while. So please, if you want that item, look for it elsewhere. Susie's checking to see.
The Stamps of Life have a bundle of 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Stamps of Life has a bundle that includes 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that's probably 3 of each, I'm guessing.
I think so.
And then they might also have the individuals. So we'll see. Susie's searching that out for us. In the meantime,
then they have one of each trays 1 through 6.
Oh yeah. So you they have a bundle that's 1 of each.
Yeah.
So they have the bundle with all of them also.
Yeah, that's what they have.
Okay, let's see. Well, she's searching. I'm going to say, Scrap and Orchid has a question. I just purchased the Kirsten and Katie buddy bags. May I ask why they have the angle design rather than the same height all the way around? Thanks for your help, Sarah. They have the angled design because it helps them work like when you flip back the lid on them, it stays back, which is a little bit different than some of the other buddy bags. And that angled design just gives you that access, kind of like a recipe card holder, right? So it's just easier to get in and get things out and put things in and put them away. Mostly because this one and the Katie buddy bag were designed not so much for holding supplies as they were designed as sort of mini files for dies and stamps and that type of thing. So a little bit different accessibility than something where we're just putting in ink pads or bottles or something like that, where the tops of them are all, like it's all the same, I guess, a level. You're not flipping through things like you are in the Kirsten and the Katie. So that is why they were designed that way. Kirsten in particular, she was kind of the, what is the word? Karen was sort of the motivator for Kirsten. So if you're familiar with the Karen buddy bag, she's a smaller version. This is a 9x6 pocket and magnet configuration. The Karen buddy bag was 5x7, and everyone loved Karen, but we have bigger dies and bigger stamp sets that were available, especially through Stamps of Life, which is who this bag was designed for. If you don't know that, Kirsten and Katie are the daughters of Stephanie Bernard. So those bags are named after her, in particular, designed to fit around Stephanie's stamps and dies. But of course, they fit everything. So, but that is why we have the slant top.
Scrapbook.com has 5 and 6.
Scrapbook.com has 5 and 6. So if you are looking for number 5 and number 6, which are the most popular, slide, stash, and store. I will show you quickly if you do not know. So this is 6. So 6 is the one that holds. So I have a button press in there and the tools that go, right? I have my button press machine and all the parts that go with the button press in this number 6. It's the wider one. It also is the one right here I have that has yarn in it, right? If you're looking for them for home organization, number 6 is the one that holds all of the cleaning chemicals like Fantastic 409, kind of those squarish bottles. They fit great in 6. They fit in 5 also. So here's 5. This is right, great for the garage, spray paint, solvents, that type of thing. Also 5 is great for buddy bags. If you need to go vertical with your buddy bags, right? So if you don't have skinny shelves and you want to maximize the height and dimension of those buddy bags, then the 5 is great for a lot of the different buddy bag dimensions also. And then of course, just label the front, you're able to pull them in and out and get what you need, but you're maximizing that space on your shelf by putting them vertically in your number 5. All right. You got anything else for me, Suze? Bring it on,
So we
sister.
have Crafty Becky who's asking, what bag do I buy to fit gilding polish from Cosmic Shimmer Company?
Gilding polish from Cosmic Shimmer Company. I should just leave that out, shouldn't I, Susie? You know what you're looking for?
Nope.
It's that weird little jar with the top on it. It's in,
This one?
no, it is one shelf up. Keep going down. No, that shelf. Keep going, keep going. It's in one of those boxes. Yes, that. Bring it on over. Oh, bring me both of them, would you? And then poor Susie, she's just, it's like a treasure hunt in here. And then I also need the 12 by 12 storage and supply case, which is, see that big deep bag right there sitting on a second pile of plastic totes down. Okay, the one underneath that. Let me see what's under there. Yeah, I think that's it. We'll try that. That'll work. So there's so much trouble because of the lids, right? I wish these manufacturers would ask me about the lids. Okay, so this doesn't have all the drawers in it. This, which we talked about last week, so this is a sample, so it's a little bit different than what's going to be the final. But this is going to hold your Cosmic Shimmers this way, right? They're going to fit in the tray. I'll put them in there so you kind of get an idea. I'll show you a smaller option also. So depending on how many you have, you're going to be able to line these up lid to lid. Right, and I think I calculated out that you were going to get, that you were going to get 10, like 5 and 5, 10 per row, I guess, depending on how many you have. So this is coming out, I think, in the fall, and it comes with, it's just like the rest of this storage and supply cases. It comes in a variety of drawer configurations. These, I believe, also fit in. Leanne, where are you? Oh, Leanne. Nope. Here we go. So not as neat and tidy, but they will go in the Leanne bag also height-wise. But you do have to stack them up and down in the Leanne bag. And that is, depending on how many you have, there's such a challenge, right, because of those lids. So just depending on what you've got, kind of the best way to go with them in different things is up and down so that you kind of can fill that space the best. So you could do them in something like this if you don't have a lot. This is Irene. And then also the Edna bag, I believe, Edna or Merle, the twins. This is actually Merle. right? So you could also go with Merle or Edna. And I think you can get 6 in here. Let's see if I can hold them in place. 1, 3, 4, oh no, 5. So you can get 5 in an Edna or a Merle bag also. I need to leave those. I get asked about these all the time. I need to come up with something unique just for these because it's a common question. What do you got, Suze?
Let's see. Random question. I'm in the process of reorganizing my space. Can we see a full view of the shelving behind you? Also, what is the depth of the shelving? And actually, somebody else answered that question I did see.
About the Fajelkinch, or the
yes.
brand of it? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So that one has been answered by another viewer. Let's see.
But for those of you who didn't hear, the question is about the shelving units, which we've talked about before. And we'll get Susie to do a little bit of a pan back at the end, and you'll be able to see a little bit more of what's here. Now, please keep in mind that while all of these things are loaded up with craft supplies, how I have things loaded and why they're that way is probably a little bit different, because not only is this a craft room, this is actually a space where I need to be able to say, oh, here's an idea for this, or here's an idea for that. So it isn't exactly perfect, but it does hold a lot of stuff. What do you got, Suze?
Somebody is asking, how many pounds does the lowest bag hold?
Oh, more than you can carry, I'm sure. So, you know, I've had it loaded up with paper, and that's probably 30 pounds, I would imagine. So one of the design features of the lowest tote is that the handles are sewn into the fabric at the bottom, right? So there's fabric on the inside, fabric on the outside. They're sewn in there. They're sewn up the plastic. And then we added this extra piece of webbing, and they're sewn in there as well. Because if you just had it sewn to the plastic, even though this is a nice quality vinyl, it would have a tendency to rip under that weight. So the way that the handle is sewn on is designed to hold more weight. So when you look, and they're on both sides, there's no other purpose when you look at this for this piece of black webbing that's right here. It's there just as a support piece. And then the other thing about it is that it does have a solid bottom on it, right? It's not fabric. There's a piece of plastic in there as well. And so that plastic in the bottom helps dissipate the weight out to the sides rather than cause it. So Susie's husband's an engineer. I should make him come on and explain how all that works. But it helps to spread the weight out, not dissipate, I guess, spread the weight out. So they really hold, boy, yeah, like I said, I've had mine loaded up with, I think, excuse me, 4 paper handlers full of paper, and it's heavy, but it wasn't a problem. It's also the reason that there's 2 lowests, right? There's the lowest with the fabric bottom, and there's the lowest that's all clear vinyl. And when we loaded up the clear vinyl with that much paper in the paper handlers, which are plastic and have kind of sharp corners, almost look like they were going to punch through the vinyl, which is why we said, hey, let's switch the bottom out on these and go with the colors, because then they're a lot more durable that way as well. So I think you'll find that it can handle almost anything you can put in it.
Okey doke. Well, first, here's a comment from Carol Ann Hanley. She wants to know,
Hi, Carol Ann.
you can get Petey to wear birthday hat again in birthday week.
I will do my best to get Petey in a birthday hat on birthday week. Absolutely. Park is going to be out of town during birthday week, so Petey will be solely under my care during birthday week. So you may see him more often than not. Actually, I think Park leaves on the 19th and comes back on the 24th. But most of birthday week, I will be in charge of Petey, so he will be here more often on birthday week than he usually is.
Okay. Then we have one from Meg Rowley. Hi, Tiffany. What would be a good carrier for my creative memories circle cutting system? I would have to hold a 13 by 11 cutting mat in the various circles and ovals for cutting.
The 13 by 11 cutting mat is a problem for me. Let me check this out. Let's check this bag out, right? What am I always saying? The things that we make are bigger. So I think, actually, so we're only at 12 3/4 on this bag. And I think, Oh, I should have measured the other direction. Aha. Yeah, I think it would fit. So this is the Lisa, right? And Lisa is 13 inches by 12. I'm going to put on my glasses and make sure I'm giving out the right information. So Lisa is going to be from bottom to top, 13 even, and side to side, 12 and a half even. So depending on how many other pieces there are, and Terry Wiegand, if you're on today, she's our creative memories consultant that always pops in with the solutions with Totally Tiffany products. She could tell me, she probably has this bag. We'll know that if that's a good fit or not, but it is 13 by 12 and a half. So it would fit the cutting mat, and then you could put the circles in as well. Which also, I guess if I go the long way on this, probably going to be the same. So this is the new one. It's not available yet, but it will have the dividers in it. Yeah, that's going to be 13 as well, lengthwise. So it will have the dividers in it for the different circle things. Not available till September. So the Lisa or if you need something deeper, so the Lisa is 1 inch deep. The 12 by 12 paper taker is 2 inches deep. And I think the paper takers and probably the Lisa are available on our website, but if not, they're going to be on scrapbook.com. And yeah, that would fit also. Scrapbook.com, I know, carries the whole line of paper takers as well. So the 12 by 12 paper taker is actually 13 inches tall. The Lisa buddy bag is also 13 inches tall. So depending on how much depth you want, you've got 1 inch on Lisa and you've got 2 inches on the paper taker. So depending on how many of the other pieces there are. And I would think also, just for tidiness sake, you could put your cutting mat behind the tray, right? And you could put all your pieces into the front part of it, and it'd be easy to pull the tray out separately and then reach in and grab your front pieces. So it might work really, really well. And again, Terry Wiegand, if you're out there and you have that, if you could give me your opinion on that, because you're so knowledgeable about both Totally Tiffany and Creative Memories, that would be awesome. All right, you got anything else for me?
Let's see. Question: will the new Calyx item be available to purchase in March?
Yeah. Ooh, it'll be available. It's going to launch. I think we're actually going to put it on the website before birthday week starts, or will be a sneak peek of it. Yeah, worst case scenario, it is actually going to launch on March 21st, which is the first day of birthday week. So yes, it will be available. And on special, don't miss the special deal on birthday week. Is that it for you for now, for the moment?
Oh, yeah, I got more questions.
Okay, I'm going to answer Leslie Hayes, who asked about the Triangle Traveler, and then we'll go back to Susie. So she wants to know why her Triangle Traveler doesn't stand up, or how to make it stand up, I guess, when she's using it. So she said sometimes it flops forward and sometimes it flops backward. So remember, the little toggle switch in the back is going to tighten up your back or loosen it so it'll lay back more, okay? But then you're looking at mine and you go, well, it's not laying back. So one of the things that you want to keep in mind is that if you have this and it's closed into that triangle shape, you're kind of pushing everything forward, including the bottom. I don't know if I can show it on, including the bottom of the bag, right? Well, so all you want to do is pull that bag out and turn it around the other way. And now it's going to lean backwards instead of leaning forwards, because it was pushed forward the whole time that it was packed in, right? So adjust your toggle and don't be afraid to let it go back, right? Sometimes people are like, oh, it should be straight up and down. You want to let it lay back so that everything else will lay back as well. And then you might need to, if your bags have been stored leaning forward, just pull them off the Velcro and flip them around, and they'll get the lean back with all the products in them as well. So you can open them up and use them as it was designed, just like that. So super simple, but that's probably, if you're not having, Leslie, if you're leaning forward or back, toggle and then swap your bags around, will be perfect. All right, Suze, what else have you got?
All right, Deanna Lee is asking, is there a warranty on the buddy bags? I have a Kirsten bag that holds a bunch of my embossing folders. I've Had it for about 6 months, but have hardly used it. I went to take it off the shelf, and the back seems to have come apart.
If you have a problem with any of the Totally Tiffany products, just email customer service at totally-tiffany.com. It sounds like probably the handle wasn't sewn on properly or something. There's some manufacturing defect, because buddy bags in particular, boy, I mean, warranty on stuff is a year, but buddy bags in particular, I mean, there's no if you were using it every day, it would probably still take you 5 years to do any kind of wear it out. So please reach out to Leanne, customer service at totally-tiffany.com, and she will get you squared away with a new Kirsten bag or whatever she needs to do for you.
Okay, Cheryl Adams is asking, what is the best way to store stencils all together? I have sizes from 3x6, 6x6, and 6x11. Please help.
It depends how you are, what kind of crafter you are. There we go. So the tab divider pockets are a great way to store stencils. They make it really easy. So this is a die stamp and supply organizer. And then these are, I don't know what, I think these are 8x6 stencils from scrapbook.com. This is the 8x8 pocket. So these pockets come in 8x8, all the sizes that stencils come in basically, right? And we do have a new pocket size coming out that's 9x6 for stencils that are designed around slimline cards. So we'll have that covered sooner than later. I'll give you a sneak piece of information on that as well. We will be launching that brand new slimline die storage, die and stamp storage on scrapbook.com, and I think it's this month. I think it's the end of this month also. So here's 12x12 stencils, right? So my first piece of advice to you is use the tab divider pockets in whatever size you need. If you stay at home when you craft, you don't need to take them with you. The die stamp and supply organizer is a great way to store and organize those. But also keep in mind, if you don't have as many, or you want to be able to store it away a little easier, all of those pocket sizes that you mentioned for stencils are also going to fit in a craft and carry workstation, and you're going to have this stadium sort of look and a little bit of extra room for other things as well. If you want to keep them more contained, you can still use all those different pocket sizes and just put them into the Lisa tote bag. Put your bigger ones in the front, your bigger ones in the back. So, okay, Lisa or the 12x12 paper taker. Again, depending on how many you have. Oh, I need a bigger workspace. Isn't that the truth for all of us?
Always.
Right, I know. We always need, so I've got 8x8, and do I have 6x6 pockets in here? I don't think so. What is that? Oh, that's the 8x5 pocket, I guess. So when you put them in whatever tote, whether you choose the Lisa or the 2-inch paper taker, put your tall ones in the back and put your smaller ones in the front. And then when you look in the bag, you'll be able to see all of them. And of course, when you open it, you'll be able to see the label tabs at the top. Sorry, I'm standing on my tiptoes back here. I guess I could put something away here and it'll be easier. There's always some weird size. All those manufacturers have to challenge me with something different. But so the tab divider pockets are great. Tab divider pockets with stencils. Here's my tip for you. Put a piece of paper in between or behind. Dun, dun, dun. Let me see if I have one in here. These are all from scrapbook.com, I think. So So these are 8x6, but I kept the packaging behind the stencil. So there's the name or what they're calling it, but it makes it easier to pull them in and out so they don't get hung up on each other. If you have a piece of paper behind them, when you put them in the pocket. So you can kind of press them back against the back of the pocket to put them away. And then the little holes don't get hung up on each other or whatever. So separate them with a piece of paper or two. You can put them in back to back. And you can also put, let's see if I did it here with some of the other ones. And mine are all numbered, but I think maybe this sample might have another. Let's see. This is also the packaging, right? If you, well, I'm going to flip this just around this way so you can see it. If you fold over a lip at the bottom of your paper, then it's even easier to slide them in and out, right? It makes like a little pocket. So you grab the paper and it's going to pull the stencil up. And then if you put them, then you can put a label tab on this and a label tab on the back side, both facing the same direction. So you can have, well, you can have 6 or 8 stencils in a pocket, especially if you're separating them with card or creating this little lip at the bottom. It makes it easier to pull them in and out. So regardless of the size, you can treat them all the same way in terms of storage. And then you can, if you want to keep them all together, you can store them in something that's 12 by 12 and just put the shorter ones in the front. If you have tons of them and you want to keep them by size, I would still go with the tab divider pockets and then choose either to use the paper takers, which come in all those sizes, or you could use fab files as well. So depending on where you live, how you craft, all of those things. But the tab divider pockets are a great solution for stencils. They keep them clean, neat, tidy, organized, and they don't get hung up on each other. Like if you're trying to store them in a box or something, it turns into a disaster. All right. What else have you got?
Okay. What glue would you recommend for gluing the die file magnet strips and have tried? I made sure to wipe each shelf off first and the strips are still falling off. Thanks.
I don't know why your strips are falling off. That is very strange. You could use probably any kind of like tacky white craft glue would work probably fine. I would reach out though to Leanne, to customer service, and see if they can get you another box of magnetic strips because something's amiss. So when you pull the adhesive off, I think there's one right on the top first cube. What's that little white thing sticking out? Is that magnetic strips? Yeah, those are them. Those are them. So when you pull this piece off, right, to expose the adhesive, it should stick. I mean, I was looking for something I could stick it to. I don't be able to pull it off, but they should, I mean, it's adhesive. They should stick on. If yours aren't sticking, there's some other kind of problem. So I would definitely reach out to Leanne. However, if you just want to get it done and get them stuck on there, then you could use something like just a regular craft glue or Gorilla Glue or something like that to put them on. But they should, yeah, when you peel back the adhesive and you lay it down, then you just want to press them flat because you can get air under there, I guess. Like if you don't, I think kind of in the little instruction video, it says to put it down like this and then press and pull at the same time like this, right? So that you get them flat and get the air bubbles out. So if you're not doing it that way, then that might also be helpful, but they should stick. Once they're on there and they've been on there for a little bit, the adhesive should adhere, I guess.
Ooh.
So if they're not sticking, then that's another problem. And I definitely reach out to customer service. What else?
Okay, we have another issue. I started putting embellishments in my scrap rack, but when I turn the pages, items fall out the top. What can I do to prevent this?
Woo-woo. So one of the tricks to loading your scrap rack pages is that so first question is, when you say embellishments, if you're talking about brads and eyelets and that kind of thing, are they in a little Ziploc bag, which is what they should be in, right? So essentially anything that's tiny, you want to put into a Ziploc bag and then into the pocket because it's just easier to get it out of the pocket. So if you mean they're falling out because they're little like that, then that's your first thing. Put them in a Ziploc bag. one of the big tricks to the scrap rack and keeping things in the pockets is making sure that when you put something in a pocket, I think, Susie, I just, that purple craft binder that's open on my tall desk, you want to, is that has pages in it, right? They're, I'm going to bring that whole, just bring that whole thing over, and then we'll make room. We'll make room. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So when you, there's this one probably doesn't have embellishments in it because it's more about page. Let me see. It's more about no, but it'll still, I can still, okay, so pull this in. So when you're loading things into your scrap rack pages, all the pages have this little flap at the top. Things stay in there better if the item that's in there is behind the flap rather than below the flap. So as an example, here, this will probably work. Right, of course, you can't get them to come out of the pocket when you, oh, this will be good, when you want them to. So this is a little short behind that pocket. So it's more likely that it could spill out of the pocket, right? These are bad examples because they're not bulky like an embellishment. So what you want is to have the things that are in your pockets come up high behind the pocket flap. And then it's hard for them to come out of the pocket because that flap keeps them in there, right? So that's one of the things to do is consider which pages you're using for which things and make sure they come up above the flap. Now I know some people, so this is why this is this way, like to put a piece of cardstock in the pocket and then they'll put smaller things on the back side and there's no way it can get out, but they can still see it easily and they can still flip the pages easily, right? So that's the number one thing. Choose pockets where your product can come up behind the pocket. But the other thing is just, I probably shouldn't have taken these all off here while I was looking, but I'll pop that back on. The other thing is when you're turning your pages, right? If you turn from the upper corner, can't even get it. No, I didn't hook that one all the way on. But if you turn from the upper corner, then that's going to keep everything in the pockets as well. So if you're flipping, from this bottom corner and you have embellishments in there, see how that bends over? So you've got a greater chance that things are going to fall out of the pocket. So just the size of the item and the size of the pocket should be compatible, and then turn from the upper corner and you won't have any of that trouble. Everything will just stay where it's supposed to be. Even if you're doing, like I've got my Spinder out and it's in this binder, if I was using it flat, then I want to be really careful about turning from the top because it does help those things stay in versus, you know, if you're flipping just from the bottom, you've got a different thing going on there. All right, Suze. I hope that makes sense. Oh, if you, there's also on the blog, so there's so many things, thank you. There are so many things that you, like tips and tricks like that about the scrap rack and really how to maximize it and what you're putting in it and how you're loading your spinders and how many pages go on a spinder and how to turn the pages and all those things. The blog is loaded with scrap rack tips. So if you just go click Totally Tiffany and click on blog and search scrap rack, almost any question that you have is there. And there's tons of YouTube videos as well. I mean, of course, you're more than welcome. That is what Tuesday Live is for, to ask those questions. If you have the question, other people do as well. So please, by all means, but if you need help and we're not here, the blog has tons of tips and tricks for scrap rack. All right, Susie, what else?
Will the 3-drawer stash and store be available soon?
I wish I could answer that. It has been done and ready for a while, but I don't have any control over release dates. I will ask about it again, though. I'm going to put it on my list here. You got something else?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You're going to have a good one for this one.
All right.
This is from Faylene Tonkin.
Faylene. Hi, Faylene.
Totally starting over in my craft room. Everything is out and ready to paint. Flooring, lighting, shelves, and storage. Should I base my storage shelving on the Totally Tiffany storage?
Of course. So just in case you can't hear Susie reading the question, Faylene, hi Faylene, is redoing her craft room and she wants to know, should she base her shelving on Totally Tiffany product sizes and dimensions? And I say, of course you should, Faylene, of course. Well, in the real world, one of the things that is really, I think, the best solution for putting in your shelving is putting in shelving that you can adjust the heights and even possibly the lengths of boards, right? So my mother, who I know I talked about last Tuesday Live and said when she gets back in town, we'll see if we can't get into her little craft pantry. She put in, those, I don't know, the things that go down the wall, and then you put the, what I'm talking about.
Like
the brackets. Yeah, you put the brackets in. And then one of the great things about that is there's so many options for shelf division, right? Well, the other great thing about that is, so my shelves are 4 feet long. I don't have any option about them being 4 feet long, right? There's no, I can't split one off. Well, when you put those bracket holders down the wall, see if you can follow me here. This is kind of hard to. So you've got your bracket holders down the wall and you put the brackets in and you've got 6 feet of wall and you could have a 6-foot shelf, but you could also have a 3-foot shelf so you could divide 3 feet of shelves, 4 inches apart for buddy bags, but you could do 3 feet of shelves that was 12 inches apart by just having another 3-foot shelf over here with the brackets up at 12 or 13 inches versus over on this side of it. So if you have great studs in your walls because they get heavy, and some of you have seen them, I have that configuration over on my other wall. Now, all my shelves are the same length over there, but the upside to that other system is that you can have some shelves that are 4 feet long, some shelves that are 6 feet long, some shelves that are 2 feet long, and you can really, really adjust them. And I think that that's probably the key. And you've probably heard me say this before, the more mobile things are, right? Specifically, I usually am talking about wheels, but the same things with the mobility in your shelving heights and dimensions, the more easy it's going to be to use your space left to right, back to front, and top to bottom, right? So keep that in mind. Just because if you put in those bracketed shelves, just because you can go 6 feet long with every shelf, you might not want to. You might have 6 feet of shelf, and then you might have, 3-foot shelves that are 4 inches apart, and then another 6 feet of shelf. So your space over here is 12 inches on the wall, but your space over here is 4 inches apart. So that's good for buddy bags, and this is good for paper. When you are doing wall-mounted shelves, which is the downside, well, that's where this shelving system is better. You have to pay more attention to how much weight, how many brackets you're using, are they in the stud, and all that kind of stuff, which is way outside of my box. That's what I have Park for. But so either way, but I would say give yourself, Faylene, the most versatility you can in your shelving so that you can really maximize that space. And it also allows you to move it around, right? So if you think you're going to use your room one way and then you start working in it, you're like, wait a minute, I really wish the table went this way instead of that way. I wish my shelves went all the way down so I could reach things this way. So flexibility is always different than we think, right? When you put something together, it's always different than we think. All right, I have a couple questions over here. Let me make sure that. Lori Hancock says, yes, I have the CM system and I put all the templates and mats in the Lisa bag. So someone else was asking about that, and it is actually a functioning thing, Lori says, in the Lisa bag. Ellen Wilson says, should I organize stickers by theme or color or integrate them into the 4-section system? Integrate them into the 4-section system. Woo, woo. Theme stickers in your themes, holiday stickers in your holiday, colored stickers in your rainbow section. So unless, of course, they're a collection and we want to keep things together we use together, you just want to get some sort of representation, in other locations that you have those things, but definitely take your stickers and integrate them right into your 4-section system. You will be so happy that you did that. It'll make things so much easier. Anything else, Suze?
I have a question from, I can't read it, it's all blurry, on knitting needles. What is the best way to store all my knitting needles? I have straight ones about 14 inches long. I also have double pointed needles that are 8 inches and come in packs of 5 to knit in the round, also circular needles that are small needles on a cable.
So, knitting needles, my nemesis. The longest knitting needles are about 14 inches long, and we don't make anything that's 14 inches long. So I don't know. Susie can attest to this. Over on my work table over there, there is a stack of knitting needles, crochet hooks, the knitting needles on the, I think you said they're called on a cable with the plastic thing in the middle that's flexible between the two needle points. My mother knits. It is something that is on my drawing board. And really my biggest challenge for helping you with knitting needles is I don't knit. So I am not sure of 100% of how you use them. So I've had a couple conversations with my mom. So unlike craft tools, she said, when you're knitting with 14-inch needles, that's pretty much what you're using. It's not like you're constantly changing out needles, although sometimes in a project you do. I will tell you this, solution-wise. Can you, Susie, take that little apron that has my earphones? You can take the earphones out, and then if you can just bring the apron over here. Womp womp. This is, I'm calling it an apron. I don't know what American Crafts calls it. This goes on the American Crafts a la carte, right? So it's the little craft room carts. I think they sell them at Michael's and Joann and Hobby Lobby. And American Crafts, we are memory keepers, their whole name. And then people are like, what is that? But American Crafts a la carte. The a la carte makes all these little great accessories. And so one of the things that I think this would work really well for, if you have a cart or there's somewhere you can hang it on the wall, is that you can put knitting needles and crochet hooks. And then you've also got your stitch counters, stitch markers, needle tips. So you can see this on my workbench, right? How to deal with in something like this for accessibility. But again, the challenge for me, and it's a challenge I'm hoping to rise up to figure out, is because I don't knit, like one of the key things with Totally Tiffany products is that they're solution based. Like I have a problem, how do I solve it? And then I think about how I craft, when I craft, where I craft, who I craft with, all the things that I'm constantly preaching about as I'm standing here on Tuesdays are all the thoughts that actually I run through in my head when I'm designing a new product. So I think that this would work well if you use a craft cart and you could put the needles that you were working on or needing for that project and the stitch counters and those things and just have it right there on the edge of your craft cart. I don't know that would hold all of your knitting needles or that you have a craft cart, but it is, I think, a solid solution or concept wise for getting those organized. So there was a long answer to the short answer that I don't have a good solution right now. I know a lot of knitting needles, crochet hooks and that type of thing are going to fit in the Merle bag, and Merle has the ear flaps, right? So Edna is the long bag that doesn't have ear flaps. You need Merle for storing things like knitting needles and crochet hooks so that when you tip it upside down, things don't slide out. But you can put a lot of knitting needles, crochet hooks, needle point protectors, stitch counters, and all that stuff into Merle. So she might be a good solution for everything, but your 14-inch knitting needles, because they won't fit in there. Anything else, Susie?
I think that's most of it.
Okay, let's see. What have I got over here? Ellen Wilson. Okay. Woo, woo, right. It's 11 o'clock. We're right on time. All right, so we need a winner. Winner, chicken dinner. I'm looking through my notes here to make sure I don't have anything else going on. We got a new product launching during birthday week. We talked about Kirsten, and I have a winner. Woo, woo, woo. I'm just making sure I didn't. All right, drum roll. Teresa Pyers. You are the big winner this week on Tuesday live. So you need to reach out to prizes with an S at crafterscompanion.com and say, I'm the big winner. And if you don't already have an account on the Totally Tiffany website, Crafters Companion website, you want to go in and set yourself up with an account first, because they're going to add that $25 gift certificate right into your account. You can spend it now. Well, it usually takes a couple days, or you can save it up for birthday week, woo woo, and all the new goodies that we have coming out for that. So thanks so much, everybody, for joining me this week and being part of the Tuesday Tribe. If you have not signed up for the Get Organized Challenge, remember there's a brand new email list for Get Organized Challenge. So just because you signed up last year doesn't mean your name is getting forwarded properly. So go to the website, click on Get Organized Challenge, sign up, and we will kick that off. I think it's 2 weeks from today on the 22nd of March. Now, getting organized with a friend is always, I'll even talk about this in the beginning of the Get Organized Challenge, but it's always easier to do something when someone else is helping to hold you accountable and participating with you. So you guys kind of depend on each other to get your work done and stay focused and all that stuff. So if you have crafty friends who need to get organized as well, maybe you should invite them to join the Get Organized Challenge, or get a small group of people together and do the Get Organized Challenge together. It's a great reason to get together with a bunch of girlfriends and have coffee or a glass of wine, watch the challenge, and then get out there and get your work done. So make it social, make it fun, make yourself more accountable to getting it done, and you'll be more successful. All right, sign up for the GOC. I will see all of you, my Tuesday Tribe, next Tuesday for Tuesday Live. We have a time change next Tuesday, but it doesn't really it affects us weirdly because we're in Arizona, but for the rest of you, we'll still be here at the regular time, I guess. So, all right, take care, everybody.